Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you had a really great day trading today. So today was Thursday, August 1st. We are at the start of a new month, and this has been a really wild week. We did open Monday right here, just above the 50-day moving average, and we have been chopping violently around that 50-day moving average. So today we did close underneath it. I did not make a video last night with the new trading ranges. So we do have here, this is from Tuesday's video where I gave the implied move for Wednesday and Thursday. I did not make a new one last night. And this range was perfect for the day. We did open with a gap up and we filled the very last bit of this island top. And as soon as we filled it, we saw selling pressure. We sold off, got back underneath the 35 EMA, back underneath the 50-day moving average, and we did see a little pop up into close. So we closed out the rest of that gap, and just as island tops tend to be, it was a battle zone. It's always really fun to see how that works. And if I did have the implied move today, if I did make a video last night, it would have looked like this. And we had such a big move that we would have closed outside of the implied move on the day. But if you did use the trading range that I had laid out the day before, it was perfect. Even if you sold 551, 552 spreads, even at open, we would have closed that. That would have actually collected some nice premium, and we did drop back to close within the implied move from Tuesday's video. So that was SPY. Big down day, down 1.42%. VIX up 13.5%. Volatility has definitely been higher lately. And then taking it over to QQQ, same thing over here. We started with a gap up, and as soon as we reached the 50-day moving average, we got rejected and we did sell off all the way down to the 4-hour 200 moving average. So a huge down day. There was no buyable dip at all. It was just a straight sell off. And you could see volume is definitely higher than the 30-day average. You want to look for that as evidence that we are seeing a real sell-off. When we see a down move on low volume, there's a chance that there's going to be a dip to buy. But when volume is this much higher than the 30-day average, wait to buy the dip until we find a support. And for right now, that was the 4-hour 200 moving average. We did see that on Tuesday as a support. Today, we did just bounce off of it. I'm not saying it is support. We can definitely drop underneath that level. But a technical bounce is a technical bounce no matter what. And at a level as big as the 4-hour 200 moving average, you'll often see a technical bounce until we can break underneath it with some conviction. So 50-day moving average resistance, 4-hour 200 moving average support right now. And SPX over here, same thing. We gapped up and closed out the remaining portion of that gap. This is the down gap from last Tuesday going into Wednesday. So yesterday we closed out the up gap. Today we finished closing out the down gap right up here. And as soon as that filled, you could see the selling pressure came in strong and we dropped all the way underneath the 50-day moving average. And here is something that I will repeat from time to time. You really don't want to go long at a moving average that is pointing down. The momentum is down. And even though we had those huge moves to get up there, we hit a downward momentum moving average, and that's where we saw selling. So a little tip to remember, don't go long at a moving average that is pointing down. SPX down 1.37%, VIX popped 13.5%, and you can definitely feel that we are at 18 with volatility with these big moves that we're seeing. And IWM had the biggest move today. It was extremely violent, down 3.25%. So small caps took a big hit. And yesterday we did fill in completely this gap up here. And I didn't take that out yet, or I didn't show that it's closed out. But after we filled that gap, we pulled back down at the very end of the day to the 35 EMA. And today we continued to sell off. So we did drop underneath the 35 EMA. We took that 35 EMA all the way to the 30-minute 200 moving average. That is bearish. And then we saw a massive sell-off. Look at that volume, 71 million, when the 30-day average is around 36. So big volume everywhere today, and we did take it all the way down to what I had on Tuesday as the bottom of the implied move, and we actually closed underneath it. So I had that at 217. We closed 216.58. So if you did sell spreads at 217, selling 217, buying 216, then that was about a break-even trade. You probably didn't make any money on that, but you probably didn't lose either. So IWM, really big down days. This gap, once we filled it, definitely became a resistance. And that goes back to 2021. Let me take that out to the 5-year. That was right here. You can't see it on the weekly candle because it did happen within the week, but we did gap down and then we swung back up, resistance, and then that is a clear resistance here. We got very sharply rejected from that level. So that was IWM. Huge down day, and then right here, keep an eye on tomorrow. If this 35 EMA does actually break underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average, then we have returned to bearish mode, which you could see right here is where we got a cross up, and we were building that support here, and then we took off. But if we get back into bear mode, then you could see what happens when we get back underneath. That 30-minute 200 moving average becomes our resistance until we can get it back up. So IWM possibly returning back into a bearish trend here after today's move. And then the Dow, we do have DIA. We also saw a drop here. So where did we close yesterday? We opened with this candle right here. So that was our 9:30 candle. And so we were at open, we did see a little pop and then a drop. We did get underneath the 35 EMA, underneath the 30-minute 200 moving average, but we did still close with that 35 EMA above the 30-minute 200 moving average. And then we did come into this gap from last Thursday going into Friday. That's where we saw that 35 EMA turn away from the 30-minute 200 moving average, and we went in for another run. So we did close at the opposite end of the implied move that we had from last week. So 398 to 413 was on the weekend video that I made, the implied move for the week in DIA, because we only have weekly contracts over here. We don't have the dailies like in the other four. So we are still within the implied move, and we are getting close to that lowest support level that we had within the implied move here. So, and this gap too, bottom of this gap is at 399.50, and we did see a little bit of buying here once we dipped into that gap a little bit. So DIA down 1.28%. And I don't think I said for IWM, down 3.25%, and the Russell Volatility Index up 5.11%. So Russell is seeing the highest volatility right now. We're at 27 for IWM, VXN is 24, and then for SPY, SPX, we're at 18. So volatility definitely highest in the Russell, so small caps. And then for the Dow Jones, I actually don't know if there's a volatility index. I should look that up. And if there is, I will be adding that shortly. So that was a recap of today. If you guys are enjoying my videos and if it helps you to choose better strikes and take better trades, then please make sure to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. If you did have a big win because of something I said or because of my technical analysis, then don't be afraid of that thank you button. It's a really easy way to show appreciation. And also leave me a comment. Let me know how you guys did. If you have any questions, I do get back to everyone's comment. I do get back to every comment. Usually around 24 hours it takes me, but leave me a comment. There is no such thing as a dumb question, and everyone started at some point, and if you don't understand something I'm saying, then ask. I'd be happy to explain everything that I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, and I'm gonna set up the next day's trading range, and if I don't get to make a full length video for the trading ranges, I will at least pop on here and let you know that they're out on TradingView. So they will be available somehow, somewhere for tomorrow, even if I don't do a super deep dive. So have fun tomorrow, trade safe, make sure you guys take profits when you're out, and I'll see you guys soon.